What's up, man? It's Imani Wj Wright, usually in SwanoDown Studios, but today we're in Radio 1, more specifically 92Q Jams, with Mr. Steff Skeems. How you feeling, brother?
I'm chilling, feeling odd, man.
All right. We got JT here from the Baltimore Times, Lukey, Lenz on the camera, and Sweet Milk on the camera as well. And first of all, I want to say thank you for having all of us here today.
Man, look, I'm a man of my word, bro. You hit me on the DM. You know,
hope no one takes that the wrong way.
You know, nah, we ain't gonna take it the wrong way. He networker, hard networker right here, man. You hit me up, I asked you to come out to an event, network, let's meet in person. You know what I mean? You came out, here we are now. Let's let the relationship grow more, but don't take that the wrong way either, my brother. Right. You feel me? Pause. Big pause.
All right. So yeah, man. So before we get started here, the direction of this entire conversation makes a lot more sense if we understand your background of how you're here now. So you're from Cincinnati, correct?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
And if I may ask, how old are you?
I am 29.
Okay, 29. Yeah. So working with the Baltimore Times, like JT and I do right now, and how Luke is very soon to be hopping on board. Right now, man, we're working on really getting a certain demographic to begin to, how should I say it, JT?
Really just start consuming all the different media we have. Right now, we're mainly just print, and we kind of got the older generation really listen to what we're saying, but we got to get the young heads involved.
You're trying to get that new demographic, 18 to 34.
That's right.
You got 34 to 54 demo.
Already done.
I get it.
Right.
65 plus, already done.
And it's a digital era right now. Nobody's looking at paper. They're
yes,
looking
sir.
at digital.
Yes, sir.
100%.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully I can help.
Right. Well, here we go. And let's really get deep into the conversation now. So I want you, it's something, let me tell you what I think is so something I've come across while just living, period. Being comfortable is, I think, one of the most phenomenal things there is to life. Because for one, I think that fear is developed from the lack of certainty. You know what I mean? How will I do? How will this turn out? What's going to happen next? And if something does happen next, how am I going to be affected by it? Whether it be economics, whether it be emotion, whether it even be, your physical state, right? And because of that fear and because of the lack of uncertainty, which I think causes fear, we sometimes can be held back and sometimes simply just won't take that next step forward.
Facts.
I can tell you personally that for me, before we started touring and whatnot, I asked myself, man, how am I going to react? Am I going to sing different in another city? Am I going to feel different? Do I have to adjust my ways? You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, I got used to it, this and that, man. But for you to completely uproot yourself from, would Ohio be considered the Midwest?
Yeah.
From the Midwest and leaving your family, I suppose, right? The home that you knew, the streets that you used to, not the streets like the streets, but like, literally the streets, literally the streets that you drive on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the sidewalks that you've walked on.
Yeah.
And to move down here in a whole nother territory, tell me what kind of mental, I would say, not mental strength, but what type of understanding of yourself and what type of understanding of your next situation did you need to have in order to be successful?
I didn't know I didn't have any understanding of the next situation, and I didn't want to. Just how, like, when we went to this interview, I'm like, don't tell me what you're going to ask. Right. I'll be cool. I want to be real. You know what I mean? But in Cincinnati, man, I hit that glass ceiling. And I was just, I've done everything, man. That's where I'm born and raised at. And you know how you said the streets. We could talk about the streets both ways, you know what I mean? Because that's how I kind of got my buzz starting off before radio, you know what I mean? Then it transpired to me getting into radio. So it's just like, man, me in Cincinnati, I've done pretty much everything there was to do.
Right.
And the only way to grow more was to uproot. If you're the man here, okay, take it somewhere else. Take it to another market, see if you can be the man.
Right. Right.
And that's what it took. The boss here, Kelson, who's our operations manager, before he was operations manager of Baltimore, he was in Cincinnati. So, you know, when it came to him moving back home, he kind of brought me with him. You know,
Right.
he got settled and he was like, you know, I kind of got a position open. And, you know, I didn't really think too much on it, man.
Right.
I've seen it all in Cincy. Of course, I miss home. I miss it. Just us talking about it. I'm missing the food. I can taste the food in my mouth.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
taste it, bro. But man, you got to do that sometimes, man. Sometimes you gotta jump. You got to be at that top of the mountain and jump, and just hope to God
It's a safe
that
landing.
you're gonna learn to fly
Okay.
before you hit the ground.
Right.
And you might hit the mountain a few times. You know what I mean? You might get bruised up, but just hope to God that you're gonna fly before you hit the ground.
Right.
And hey, if you don't live in fear, you're gonna take that step. You're gonna take that leap of faith.
Yeah.
So here we are.
What's the, because like I said, I mentioned everything I said earlier was all for purpose with the whole demographic thing, with my long-winded question about, you know, uprooting itself, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of people 18 to 32 who, and you're 29, right, who are in that development stage of still figuring out life, right, and still putting things together so that their future is, you know, blooming with success. So what would you tell people from the age of 18 to 32 in your situation about cutting out fear? Because I know fear can't be easy to just cut out.
Nah, hell no, because fear can hit you in different ways, though, man. Fear can hit you like, and I don't want to use it, but I'll be honest with you. I could kind of like look at my mom, with my mom's situation, rest in peace, but like, fear can freeze you. You know what I mean? My mom passed about 7 years ago from breast cancer. It's all good.
Sorry about that, bro.
But now that I'm out of Cincinnati and I'm able to like analyze and look at that situation, I feel like fear kind of froze her up. You know what I mean? You think of a lady getting hit with something like that. You get hit with breast cancer. It'll freeze you if you're scared. Fear can freeze you, man. It can freeze you in any situation. You know what I mean? And that could be a death-defying thing. So I would tell the people, you know, 18 to 34 or younger, people in high school, the kids, follow your heart, man. Follow your heart. And don't let anybody tell you anything, man. Like, if you know what's in your heart and it's true and it's real, follow your heart and stay true to yourself, man. I remember 12th grade year, my teacher told me I'd probably be dead or locked up. And a week later, I got shot at. A week later, after she told me that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, whoa. But I'm here now. I ain't dead. I'm here right here with you and be more.
Right.
Still living, still grinding, still putting in work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I would tell them, man, put the work in. Put the work in, man. If you want something in life, you got to go for it, man. Jump off that mountain like we were talking about a couple minutes ago. Don't live with fear, man. Be smart. Don't just be, you know, I'm just going to move to LA and pursue music.
I say that to a lot of people as well, yeah.
Be smart.
Yeah, right.
You know, because I kind of look at my situation, like me moving up here. I didn't think it all the way through.
Right.
You know, I was like, you want to do this? I talked to my boss, let's do it.
Right.
How much money do I need to come up here? You need this amount. Give me 2 months. Hit the streets, work, hosting everything, stacking, flipping this, doing whatever I had, and we ain't gonna talk too much about that, but doing what I had to do to get up here and pursue my dream more. You know what I mean? But I didn't plan it out like I should have.
Okay.
But that was part of me jumping off that mountain, hoping that I'll fly before I hit the ground.
Not letting fear stop you.
Not letting fear stop me, man. Exactly. So I would tell them, like, man, don't live in fear, man. Chase your dreams, follow your heart. And if you got people in your circle, man, that you feel aren't really for you, they don't support you, man, move away from them. And stop trying to be cool. Stop trying to be cool, man. I feel like that cool, that lit, dope, man, that messes a lot of people up in life, man.
Right.
They want to be so cool. They feel so insecure with really being themselves. You know what I mean? And they go after something that they're not really true to. So don't be... Nah, man, just be yourself, man. Look yourself in the mirror, know who you are, stay true to that, and you shall prosper, my brother, my sister, my cousin, my uncle, my niece. You feel me?
Yeah.
For real.
So at SwanoDown, man, we hone we host ourselves around, you know, 3 things: idealism, virtuosity, and progression. And you know, at the Baltimore Towns as well, they're huge on the propelling and progression of the community, right? Along with, you know, everything else that we do. Being someone who is deeply rooted in the community. We just talked about uprooting yourself, and now we're talking about being rooted in the community now, right? So being someone that is so rooted in the community, whether it be the hip hop community, just the music community, period, or the people, the environment that's around you, how do you use your platform? And I don't just, let me define platform, not just you being on 92Q, but your pull, your power, and your respect. How do you use that to direct people to a right path, or a path that you think is right, at least?
Well, first off, I feel like you gotta hone in with the streets, man. You gotta get in the community to know which path they have to be guided down. You know what I mean? And it's a different path.
Define that for me.
Like, okay, in Cincinnati, they may need guidance with this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you come to Baltimore, it's a whole different game, man. It's a whole different game. So, like, when you're talking to me, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I feel I haven't done nothing. I'm honored. Mm-hmm. For you to feel like I've touched the community. I'm honored. I'm grateful because in my heart, I'm like, you got to do more. This city needs so much, man. Right. Like the black youth, man. These youngins, they need so much, man. So of course you can hit the mic. You know what I mean? You could talk on this mic and it goes to the FM and they're hearing you talk that power, talk that real. But they need more, man. So if you can go out to schools, you know, we got a 92Q back to school tour soon that was actually already jumped off. Right. You know, touch the people in that way. Link with a couple of other people, man. Start going to these schools, touching the kids. But really want to get in the streets, man. I really want to just get in the streets. Just be in the streets with these people, man, so they can feel it and get that guidance. Maybe they look up to you. You know what I mean? Right. That's how it was for me coming up.
Right.
You know.
Who'd you look up to growing up?
Man, my dad.
Okay. I can relate.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
My dad. Still do.
Right.
To this day.
Right.
You know how that is, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to look up to your dad, but and people that he taught me about, you know, some of the greats that he taught me about. But yeah, I say mostly my dad, family, couple of teachers when I was focused.
Right.
Really wanted to focus in high school, bro.
Okay.
You know,
I hear that.
But, what you say? We can't say that?
No, I said I hear that, and I looked at Luke. It's inside joke, man. Inside joke.
You got focus, bro, but hey. Well, let me ask, what grade are you? You in college? Or?
I'm 19, man. I was in college recently.
Okay.
I took the last 2 semesters off because of our tour schedule and everything that's been going on, writing and just the whole business aspect. So we've really been pursuing just the business and touring and whatnot. And yeah, so my career really took over. But I feel like the time I was in school, I used it to connect and create and to just expand myself as an intellect. And you know, if I'll ever go back, who knows? I mean, my dad's a college professor.
I remember you were telling me
and
that.
He was telling me, "Yo, you're making the right move." So, you know, we're here now, man, and we're
you got time.
Yeah.
You got time. Stay focused. Don't let that fear hit you, man.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And it does from time to time. And that's why I was doing it, you know, for the audience to hear as well. And I was really asking, because that question really derived from some of the fear that I feel myself, that I might not show.
What are you fearful about?
It's sometimes it's indirect in the subconscious. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's not anything directly that I fear. Sometimes it's just the thought, or it's just I guess it's the fear of possibility. Like I said earlier, I think all fear lacks from uncertainty, man. Not knowing exactly. Yeah. So is what I'm doing? Is it going to lead to anything? Things are looking bright, but are they really bright? Will they really be bright?
Are you fearful of if they get too bright?
See, this guy is an interviewer, so
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I switched it.
No, I love this. It's just a conversation, man. I don't believe it's a conversation.
It's gonna be a real dope conversation. I apologize. Yeah. It just feels so weird being on the opposite side.
Bro, this is just a conversation. What'd you ask me? Ask me one time.
Are you fearful of how big that light can become? Some people get scared. Not saying that you are, but believe me when I say some people can actually get scared of success.
Right.
They can know exactly what they need to do, but they're scared of success. Success can kill you, man.
We've seen it.
That's real.
Rest in peace, Matt Miller.
Rest in peace, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've seen it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So are you fearful of that?
You know what? I've never been fearful of too much success, because really, you know, everything I do is for everything I do, man. When I think about succeeding, I think about, okay, how will my succeeding lead to the people that I love becoming better as well. I feel like the more I have to my disposal, the more I can dish out to the people I love. So I've never been too fearful of, you know, growing. My fear has always been, am I making the right move to grow?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Is this my time spent here right now doing variable A? You know what I'm saying? Not even an interview. Let's say, for example, but I was 100% about this the whole time. But let's say, for example, I was, you know what I mean? Like something like this. Let's say I was like kind of about it. My fear would come from, all right, man, if I stay here for 2.5 hours a night and Luke edit the films and Olivia takes these pictures and JT's here, right? Like, would this have been time that I could have spent doing something else that could take me to the next level next week or the month after? You know, after. You know what I mean? So that's where my fear comes from, man. You know, and it doesn't come often. How you feel about that, JT? I know. Sometimes you got to do.
You know, I think about whenever you're on the way to being successful, it's going to come with a layer of anxiety and stress.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so it's kind of like think about, you know, for example, when you're playing a video game, right? And you know you're going in the right direction because there's more enemies. Period. If you are succeeding, there will be more and larger obstacles that are going to be more and more difficult to get over.
Is that like a Fortnite thing?
That's always, you know what I'm saying? That's from Legend of Zelda. That's still,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's still prevalent in like all of our lives. Is just, if you jump over the hurdle and think you're finished, it's like, no, there's going to be another larger, bigger hurdle. And so I think that's where that fear comes from that you're talking about, that uncertainty. It's kind of like, you know, can I handle these hurdles? Can I handle knowing there's going to be a bigger, larger one in the future?
Anxiety.
That anxiety that comes from it.
That's
so you might not necessarily be afraid of success.
Right.
But honestly, one of my biggest fears when it comes to like working hard on my career, my future, is what if I'm 5 years deep into something and I find out it's not necessarily what I want to do?
Okay. Yeah, I've never had that one because I've been at this since I was like 7. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just put this is my thing too, man. I feel like I've put so much time into my craft that there's no way I could just sit here and waste 12 years of my life and not do something with it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's always been my feel on it. But I didn't want to cut you off my bet.
No. I totally agree, because the point basically I was going to make is you just really just helped me make it, is that I would find the opposite would be worse, right?
Right.
The opposite would be 5 years from now and look back and say, I wish I was 5 years deep into something. So you're 19 and you've been working on something since you were 7 years old. You know how it would feel if I was 19 and I've been working on nothing since I was 7 years old?
You got to trust your process sometimes in life, man.
That's right.
You got to look at it like, yo, man, like, okay, I do radio. Ronald Reagan did radio, you know, became an actor, then became president. Who knows if he was like so passionate about radio? Oh, I'm going to be the biggest radio guy ever. And so, you know, you're acting. You know, you got to trust the process. Trust God, man.
Next thing you know, you're being sworn in.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Man.
Yeah.
Like, just trust it, man.
Yeah, Olivia looks real tired over here in the corner, man. But she says she's fine. So
we're going to be here about 20 more minutes, Olivia, all right?
The energy's up.
Oh, okay, all right.
First person to cuss, Olivia. First person to cuss on the camera.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
All right now. So let's talk about someone who is very big right now. Your most recent interview was with Lil Baby, right?
Yeah.
And I'm very hot right now. Very hot. Yeah, I would say some of my favorite songs, but y'all might start judging my character.